FriYay. Come on down. Let's get busy. Got a few questions for you for today. Who's in the house? Just watching you all come in. There's my girl Cassie. Hi, Cassie. Happy FriYay to you. Hi, Beverly. Good to see you. There's Susan. Hi, Jackie. Doris is in the house. So's Marguerite and Cynthia. Hello, Jennifer. Sarah. Mia. Happy FriYay. There's my girl Lizzie and Catherine and Arla. Good afternoon. There's Ruth. Hi, Juanita. Hi, Maureen. And Lucy's in the house. Yay. Who else is here? Ginny. Slowly but surely, step by step. Who remembers what that's from? What movie is that from? Go ahead, guess. Hi, Jenny. Susan. Happy FriYay. Good to see everyone. Thank you so much for showing up. We only have a few questions today. It's not going to be a big day. But just remember, if you want to get your questions answered, if you have a nutrition question or whatever it is send them on in to support@savingdinner.com. In that subject line, just put question for Leanne on Friday. And next Friday, it will get answered. Okay? I love answering your questions. I think it's a blast, by the way. There's Vanessa. Let's see. There's Gisela. Good grief. There you are. I haven't seen you in a while, Gisela. And Denise. And Beverly got to see her grandchildren. Most of them. Nobody has more grandchildren than Beverly. She's got 19. She takes the cake on that one, y'all. Jenny, Three Stooges. What are we talking about, the Three Stooges? I'll take it. Whatever. That's kind of funny. And there's Heather, too. Good to see you, Heather. Goodness. Anyway, questions are always a big deal around here. And somebody had asked me a bunch of questions about, sources for the multivitamins and what is all of this, that, and the other thing. And, I'm going to say, I just want to give a shout out to the manufacturer who makes our supplements, because I want to give you sort of a framework in which to, hang your confidence, so to speak. And that is that our formulator and the people that we work with, they work with me. I send them stuff and information that I am interested in, and how do we formulate this to get the most out of that. And they have a formulator there. That's what he does. That's all he does, is work with formulas. And he does it based on the latest research. And having this guy, basically at my fingertips, I can text him on the weekends, and say, hey, I got a question about this. He's very, very on top of everything. And what are the sources for everything? The best sources he can possibly get. I'll tell you that right now. It's all made here in the United States. Everything is in a vegetable capsule, which is huge, because when you get those eneric-coated tablets, for the most part, they just, if you have any kind of digestion issues, they don't dissolve. They go right through you whole. That's what a lot of these, big multivitamin brands do. Ours are not like that. They are in a vegetable gelatin capsule, and they work, and you've given me many a testimonial letting me know just, wow, how much better you feel since you've started taking them. So just rest assured that, we have got a good source, we've got a good manufacturer. I'm on top of this, working with them side by side, and I feel absolutely 100% confident in their ability to, get things done and bring things to us. They've just done a great job. And, occasionally you're going to see like flecks of color in your supplement, like in the powders, or you're going to see like a little chunk of something. That's the ascorbic acid. They don't put additives in any of their stuff. None. And there's little silica packs in there and what have you. But when you go in, when you're using a manufacturer that is using all natural products and is not putting a bunch of additives in there to make it, you know, pristine, you're gonna see, you know, the results of that. And I see that, and I always think to myself, yay, good, because I get little flecks of orange, for example, in the that you'll find sometimes in the hot milk mix. Cool, you know, it's all natural, it's all great, and there's nothing wrong with it. Trust me, there's nothing wrong with it. And the other thing is too, that if I find something that is just really on target for, I think, what our ladies need, and I said, what do you think about this, and how would you formulate this, and how do we put this together? He'll say, we'll use this and not that, and these are the reasons why. So how, you know, isn't that fantastic? Isn't it fantastic to know if you've got a good one? Maureen's asking, how do you know whether a probiotic is good or not? Everyone says they're having the best. I don't mind spending money. Ours is tested. It is, this one comes from a different manufacturer too, by the way. It's a pharmaceutical grade probiotic, completely tested. If you look on our website at our Proactive Probiotic, you can see all the information about it. Yeah, everybody does make, you know, claims about their stuff. But I did not change my probiotic from the manufacturer that we were using before for all of our other supplements, simply because they couldn't do the blister pack. If you can't do the blister pack, then you don't have a fresh and safe, in my opinion, and clean probiotic. You just don't. And the reason that you don't is because it is exposed to air. It could be sitting on a dock somewhere waiting to go into, you know, waiting to get delivered and having the sun beat down on it. You're talking about something with live probiotics inside. And so, yeah, there's going to be a little bit of die-off, but if it's in a blister pack, it's basically suspended. I don't trust refrigerated ones, and we used to use a company that gave us refrigerated ones in a bottle. Well, you know, I lived in Boulder for a while, you guys know that, and sitting on my porch was my, when after a full day of just blistering heat, was my probiotic. And the ice pack that it came in was completely melted and hot. How active was that probiotic? I ask you that, how active was it? So you need to use something that is in a blister pack, not refrigerated, not in a bottle, ever, ever. The efficacy is just not there. You cannot test for that kind of efficacy because the shipping can be all over the place. You guys know that. You know, sometimes you get, have you ever bought something and had it come just completely damaged? Well, what is the post office doing with it? You know, they're playing football with it, or it sat for a long time, or whatever. And when we're talking about live cultures, they have to be protected. That's why they're in a blister pack. We do the same thing with our SAME. Those are also in a blister pack because this company couldn't do a blister pack for me. And I said, come on, you know, Jason's the guy that I work with. I said, Jason's just not going to have the same efficacy. And he goes, I know. He said, I'm not recommending it. So this is why we have our SAME and our Proactive Probiotic. They come from a different company. They cost us a whole heck of a lot more money, but I'm willing to pay that to give you a product that is superior to what's out there on the open market. Do not trust stuff that comes chilled. You know, probiotics. Don't trust that. Don't trust, and I don't care. SAME is an enzyme that is used for joint pain, and it's also used for a mood boost. And as a matter of fact, it's used in the EU as an antidepressant, and it has none of the contraindications or side effects that this other stuff has. So I use this myself for joint pain because I used to have carpal tunnel really bad. I no longer have it. I take it on an empty stomach every single morning with my Leftifix. On an empty stomach, those are the only two that I take on an empty stomach, except at night, the probiotic. I take that at night before I go to bed. But those are the only ones. The blister pack is different than a sealed bottle because the sealed bottle does not have the control. It doesn't have the control. And we're talking, and once you open that sealed bottle, you have now exposed all of the pills to air. In a blister pack, one at a time get exposed. That's the big, big difference. And you have to be that scrupulous with certain supplements, or you're just not going to have the any kind of efficacy, and it's just you're flushing money down the toilet. So that is exactly why we do it. Yes, you can take it. Yes, you can take it with 5-HTP. Yes, you can. My only suggestion is that you take it. You take your 5-HTP. Do you take that at night for sleep? I mean, if you take it at night for sleep, then you're going to want to take it at night. When you take your other stuff. All right, so what we have, so that's a long thing. I wanted to throw that out there and let you know I got your back. I am not going to ever put anything in our shop that hasn't been tested, that doesn't have the science to back it up, and that isn't coming from a clean source and a clean manufacturing facility, and being able to work with the formulator the way I've been able to do. I mean, this has elevated our supplements to a whole new level. You have 100% guarantee from me, a personal guarantee. You have 100% guarantee for their efficacy. Marla today was just showing on her show, she was talking about beauty support, and she was pulling all the little fuzzy hairs and saying, look, I know this is beauty support. Yes, it is. And I've sprayed my hair, but I'm still going to show you. These are all mine. These are all mine that are growing. I was getting thin on the sides, and it's all growing back in. That's beauty support. Beauty support supports and helps you to manufacture your own collagen. Then you add on top of that your own collagen with perfect paleo protein, and you add in as well all that bone broth that I make you drink. Bada bing, bada bang. We are there. That's right. And Jenny just said it. I wouldn't offer you anything that I don't use myself. And by the way, Jenny also uses all of our products. She's a believer as well. I mean, we are all fully invested into our health and making things better. It's a journey, of course. It's a journey, of course. These are tools in your toolbox. These are, this is as important as getting your plan on point, as customizing and personalizing it, and also getting your supplements alongside of a good, healthy diet, because they do the work that maybe your diet's missing. So that's why, that's the whole thing. And I promise you too, I will never recommend supplements to people who are just going to eat a crap diet, because what's the point? Crap diets are just going to keep doing the damage, and you cannot expect a supplement to come alongside and save you from the drive-through. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. But if you're eating and you're doing a conscientious effort to eat the best that you can, and you're a work in progress, get yourself some supplements, because they're going to help you along the journey, and they're going to push the ball down the field a little bit faster than if you're trying to do it all by yourself. We always hear, well, you should be able to eat your way into, a good, healthy diet. And that advice was good 50 years ago. But when you look at, like, say, the nutrition of a tomato from 50 years ago versus the nutrition from a tomato today, two different things. They don't have quite the same amount of vitamin C in there. It's depleted. And that's unfortunately because of a lot of times it's because of farming practices and pulling things out, pulling things before they're at their peak and ripe. But that's just the way it goes, and we just need to be aware of that. We just need to be aware of it. And here's my supplements. Look, yes, those are my supplements. And it's everything that we take. And when I break my fast, down the hatch, baby, they're going. Because your supplements ride on your food, and it just makes your food that much more nutritious, because your body's going, oh, food, yay, let's go. So that's just a quick little primer on why I am so adamant about supplements. I have used them since the day that I became a nutritionist. I saw the importance of it, and that was in the 90s. And I've been doing it ever since. And as I learn about things, as I dig deep into things, I'm all about the research, always digging and looking. This is why recommendations change, because the research changes. And I pass that on to you. That's how I roll. And I'm going to tell you, I feel good. And when I don't take my supplements, every once in a while, I'm just like, forget to take the supplements. Don't set my alarms, and don't drink as much water. At the end of the day, I'm thinking, what happened? I didn't take my supplements. I didn't drink my water. I have a bad night's sleep, and I'm thinking, back you go, girlfriend. Square one. Start with that. These are just part of good, healthy habits. Just part of it. We have to do this. Marla started taking our Core 4. I mean, she had a couple of other things that she was taking. She said, I want to get rid of these first. And as she started taking the Core 4, she said, oh my gosh, I can't believe how much better I feel. Well, yeah, we do. Because our bodies constantly need new vitamin D every single day. You know, it acts like a hormone. It's a vitamin, but it acts like a hormone. It delivers messages to your body. We have a whole supplement schedule too, showing you how to take our supplements and why. And understand, everything that you see in our shop, everything is in there for a reason, and I take every single one. Every single one. Norma said, I love the supplements. I started walking this morning. I love that, Norma. You know, they are just that much of a help. So that's enough on all I'm going to say about that. But, you know, if you want to get started and you're going, gosh, I'm just not a taker of vitamins. I have never done this. Start here. This is the multivitamin. And if you buy 3, we'll put the 4th one in there for you free. And it's a good multivitamin. Really, really solid. And again, it's for women, but I know a few men folk who take it. And if you buy 3 and get 1 free, I mean, this is a fantastic screaming deal. Take advantage when we do that. Drop it in the cart, drop 3 in your cart, we'll put the 4th one in for you. And in the little promo window as you're checking out, put in the promo window, ships free, all one word, and we'll ship it to you free as well. So there, I love it. Lucy made beef and cauliflower curry last night with cauliflower and spinach. And scallions instead of leeks. Yummy. I would eat that all up right now. I'm hungry. I'm ready. I'm ready for my lunch. So don't forget that our sprint is starting on Monday. And I want you there with bells on and just whooping it up like you're a crazy lady at Carnival or something, you know, just... It's Mardi Gras. It's party time. Let's do this. We have a whole lot of people who've signed up. So if you are one of them that have signed up, I want to see you in there every day. I want you checking in. I want you being a part of this. It's a movement, guys. We are moving the needle, not just on the scale, but in our lives. And you would be surprised. No, you won't. I have 101 people here who can tell you why. This is such a needle mover, how 7 days can completely change your whole perspective on your life. Seriously. Because you'll see things about yourself. You're going to see things, how easily your body is just so grateful to drop that inflammation, and how much better you're going to feel. You can go to savingdinner.com/burn, and you can watch the webinar that will teach you exactly how to use this particular program. It is simple, it's easy, it's free. For heaven's sakes, get on it. And we also have a deal, by the way, pinky's up to you, Denise. We also have a deal going right now for the kits. You won't get it on time if you order it today because it's Friday. But I'm going to tell you this, if you order it, we will still send it priority and it will get there probably Monday or Tuesday. So why not? So check it out. You can check it out at savingdinner.com/burn. And if you order $200 worth of goodies, we will send you these Mindful Mug absolutely free. And you'll learn what a Mindful Mug is in the plan. And by the way, we threw all kinds of goodies in there. There's lots of little things in the webinar that we give you absolutely free. There's a link for that, and you'll get a hydration schedule that you can print out. You'll get everything. You'll get all the recipes, everything. Everything. Betsy said she can't wait to get started. I'm excited to watch you, Betsy. I'm really excited to watch you because you're excited about this. You know, you just, you know, that's how we get things done. So this is the last day for the quote of the week. We got a new one coming up tomorrow, and boy, buckle your seatbelts. But this one is a double whammy. You ready for it? Don't get mad about the results you didn't earn for the work you didn't do. From Anonymous. Well, I would stay anonymous too because I want to throw rotten tomatoes at that person because they nailed me so hard. You know, we have to do the work, right? Work is not a 4-letter word. It is a 4-letter word, but it's not a 4-letter word, right? Work is a good thing. We feel rewards after we do a good job. We feel good about ourselves after we do a good job. Work is good. I think we need to start looking at it instead of just, you know, trying to so hard to figure out leisure 900 times a day, to figure out how can I do work and feel good about myself, feel good about the work that I did. Look at that, Sandra. I'm going to crush the sprint this time. Yes, you are. And by the way, you'll get a link to join our Facebook group, and you're going to want to do that because, you know, please. Of course you're going to want to do that. You know why you're going to want to do that? Because the community is so great. And you've got 3 million people here right now telling you about it who are part of this. We have almost 3,000 people in there. And you know what? We get going. We have these group challenges once a month. And when we do them, man, all the way, baby. Especially the ones that show up every day. I see that all the time. Okay, so let's get to some questions. We didn't have a whole lot this time, but we have a couple that we'll go through. This is from Amanda, and she said, I have fibromyalgia. Many times I struggle to cook the food due to tiredness. I buy fresh food, but don't always manage to eat it. So, Amanda, what I would suggest for you on this is take your fresh food and eat the delicate stuff first. So, for example, when you have, lettuces, delicate lettuces and things like that, do that first. Spinach maybe a little bit later. The broccoli and the cruciferous vegetables later on in the week. But do that when you're sitting there and surveying all of your stuff. And then you have times where you're not tired, and that's the time that I would get into the kitchen and I would do some prep. I would sit down and I would write out all the things that need to be prepped. Use a food processor. A food processor for you would be a very good investment. You can do anything in a food processor just about, and chop this and chop that. Blender is a good thing for making your salad dressings, all of that. But I want to encourage you to stay on top of this. Also, fibromyalgia is like the quintessential inflammatory disease. It really is. One of the ways that we can bring it down is to really clean up that diet. I would strongly suggest the sprint. Give it a try. And I would also suggest getting a curcumin supplement and use that. Now, because you're in the UK, you can't, unless you want to pay exorbitant customs fees and shipping and all of that, you're not going to get ours. But look on Amazon in the UK and look for a curcumin that has a pharmaceutical grade curcumin in it, or at least has curcumin plus pepper so that it can help with absorption. But that really does help. And I'm going to tell you something. When I get sore and tired and from working out and everything, and I've been just really trying to stay on top of it, and I'm building a home gym. I'm doing all kinds of things. I'm all in it. I am like invested, and I'm done with going back and forth to the gym and feeling kind of scared, like, are people going to come in? And I'm standing by the air purifier and all of that. I'm just done with it. And I'm just going to wipe the gym off, and we have a place to put it. So what the heck, get the stuff and do it. So that's my investment, but it's also me being sore, and I wanted to like grab the Advil, every time. But you can use a good curcumin supplement. We have InflaCrusher, by the way, in our store, which is phenomenal. It is a pharmaceutical grade curcumin, and it works like nobody's business. But I use that for muscle soreness all the time. If I feel sore, I will just take one and see how I feel in 20, 30 minutes. If I still feel sore, I will leave the curcumin bottle on my desk. The worst thing that will happen is you feel a little nauseous because you took too much. But I'm going to tell you, for me, I have like a really super delicate system. Nope, it makes me feel really good. I use this instead of Advil and Tylenol. And what a difference. Because when you use those NSAIDs, and that's a non-steroidal, anti-inflammatory drug is what it is, you get leaky gut. It causes the little junctures in your gut to open up, drills holes into it. We don't need that. We don't need that. It's also 35,000 people a year die from Tylenol poisoning. That's because we pop them like candy. And in the EU, my understanding in the EU is a lot of these things are crazy. Susan's asking if you can take it with blood thinner. I'm not sure. I'm going to look it up really quick. I have a thing to look at it. But you can ask your doctor. Yeah, don't do it. Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, don't do it. You got to talk to your doctor about it. There's a lot you can't do with blood thinners. And you know, honestly, I get it with the blood thinners, but you can eat a lot of leafy greens too, which is like the whole thing with health. So you got to look at that with your doc. And anytime you're doing, you know, if you've got a lot of medications or chronic conditions or whatever it is that you're taking, you got to look at your supplements too and make sure that there's no interaction. That's a big thing that you need to do. So I would just, you know, I'm just looking at a lot of things that I oftentimes see, and I have coaching clients like this, and I oftentimes see this as well in the questions that I get asked, and in the sprint, for example. Lots of pain. Lots of women, they're in excruciating pain. Their hands hurt, their ankles hurt, their hips hurt, you know, their knees are killing them. They're in lots of pain. Well, pain is the result of injury and inflammation, or inflammation, I should say, but it can be both. Inflammation hurts, and inflammation is there on purpose when we have like an injury. When you stub your toe, it's going to hurt and it's going to throb. That is the inflammatory properties going into your toe to start doing some of the work to heal. And then after a while, it just dissipates, and then it's gone, right? Your toe is healed, everything is good. But chronic inflammation is something entirely different, and it's your body saying, oh my God, I'm on fire, and we got to fix this. And what we oftentimes do is quickly go, and we're at Costco buying jumbo-sized things of Tylenol or Advil, and we're popping those things every day. It is just not good for your gut. It's not good for your kidneys. It's not good for your liver. And it is really, really going to destroy all of it. You know, I have a friend who, a friend of mine who is a gynecologist. She and I have been friends forever. My daughter actually does a lot of her photos and what have you. And anyway, Anna and I were at a thing. I don't remember where it was, but somewhere. I think it was in Las Vegas or somewhere. We were roommates. And I was just like, oh my gosh, you know, I had a backache and all of this. And I said to her, I said, my back is killing me. I don't have any Advil or anything. Do you? And she looked at me and she goes, I never take that stuff, ever. And I said, okay, right? And she handed me curcumin. What a difference. But she won't touch it. She's a doctor. She said, I know what it does to everyone's guts. I treat these people. And you got to listen to that, because if there's an alternative for chronic pain and you can get something in you that's not going to crush you, then you got to do it. Vanessa knows. She's big on the InflaCrusher. She takes that a lot. InflaCrusher is great. I mean, this stuff is, I would not be without it. It's on my back. You can see my little bookcase right there. Oops, how do you do that? Right there, bookcase. It's sitting there. It's an open bottle, folks, and I use it when I need it. So anyway, I went off on that little tangent, didn't I? But for people who have chronic pain, use something other than using those over-the-counter, non-steroidal, anti-inflammatory medications. You know, they're dangerous. Let's look at what we can do instead of. And then if the pain is so great, you have to default to that, fine. But at least you tried something natural first. Amen? All right, she also says, so that's my help on getting you so that you can get your food created and meal plan. Do it a little bit at a time every day. Use a lot of containers, put it in the refrigerator, and that way you can just assemble and do a quick cook. Because I can't, you know, I'd love to be able to do this for you, and I'd love to be able to tell you that there's a way out of doing this. And I don't know, even in the UK, what's available as far as pre-made stuff, but I know there are pre-made things out there you can use that will help as well. I have 2 older children who are fussy eaters, and I struggle to pack lunches. I need lunch ideas. So I don't know what that means. Fussy could mean, you know, I don't know. So what I would also, let me just say what this is, as far as I know. When you have something that your kids like, that's the stuff that should be going into their lunch boxes. When you have stuff that your kids don't like, then don't put it in their lunch boxes. But figure out a way to feed them in a way that they like. Because I don't know, you have to define your own fussy. Because fussy could mean they don't eat anything except Doritos and root beer. Well, I can't help you pack a healthy lunch based on that menu. But I can, if you said your kids, you know, they like chicken, but they won't eat tuna, then make chicken salad. If you have, if they like apples but they hate bananas, then put bananas in. But sit down with your children. This is an idea for anybody who has to pack lunches. Sit down with your children and make a list of all the things that they like. What would you want to see in your lunchbox? And then make a list of all the things that they don't like, and don't put them in there, you know? And if it's just a bunch of crap, then you've got to come back to the table and start making, you know, making a list of how we can get past that. What will you eat? A long time ago, my daughter went for, she went to first grade at a little, you know, Christian school years ago before we started homeschooling. And I used to make homemade yogurt. I had everything in there, and she, you know, years later, when she finally went back to high school after 8 years of being homeschooled to the same school, and she had a bunch of friends in there, and you know, people would come, oh, Mrs. Ely, I remember when you made Caroline that homemade yogurt. I used to trade her my X, Y, and Z so I could have that yogurt. It was so good. And I looked at Caroline, I shot her a look, and she was like, because I wouldn't let her have so many things. She wanted more than anything those Lunchables. Remember those awful little things with crappy crackers, a little piece of, you know, American cheese, and I mean, she just thought it was the coolest thing in the world. And I said, I'm giving you like all this healthy food, eat it. And she was just taken in by everybody else having all that, you know, all those packaged stuff. She wanted that. So, but then now, you know, full circle, you train them right when they're young, and they will full circle you. They will. It isn't like they're going to stay on the straight and narrow and never deviate. They're going to want to know what all this stuff is about. They're going to want to know what fast food is about. They're going to want to know what the crap is that's in other kids' lunch boxes, and they're going to deviate a little bit. But you've got to make choices and make decisions for them. You're the parent, and you get to do that. But have their input. Have their input. Let them have an opportunity to help with the packing of the lunch. And remember, there's so much that you can do if you have those little ice packs and you have containers. Just ask them, beg them to please bring them home. And then you have the opportunity to pack a lot of different things. So those are some of the things that I do. And you just need to, you know, it's one of those things of sitting down with your kids and making these decisions, because that's really going to help you to determine the way you want to go. I also have Betsy is asking a bunch of questions, and I see her. I answered these in an email, but I'm going to go ahead and put these out for everybody else because there's so many people getting ready for the sprint. So here's what she says. On the hot milk sprint, may I use pork, like grilled pork chops, for example, for my protein? 100%. Yes, you can. Pork chops are fabulous. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get a little bit fattier meat in there. So in other words, you're going to be using, instead of chicken breasts, you'll be using chicken thighs, because that meat with a little bit of fat in it helps to satiate and helps to make us feel better. And it helps, you know, along with its protein, and you got a little bit of fat in there. And then you're having fiber, of course, your green fiber with your salad and with your soup. So that's going to make all the difference in the world. But yeah, go ahead, get a grilled pork chop out. If you got a grilled pork chop recipe you want to share with me, send it in, sister. I love grilled pork chops. And then it says, on the hot milk sprint, are we only allowed to eat from the recipe choices given in the guide and favorites, or can we create our own? Of course you can create your own. You can create anything that you want to create. Using the principles of the sprint, this is how you make it your own. I threw those recipes in. When I first started with the hot milk sprint, I didn't have any recipes in there. I just said do this and do that, and then I had lots and lots of questions. People love to be, you know, like you said, Betsy, big rule followers. They want to have these recipes, and they want to know that other folks are making the same recipes that they are. And so hot milk spaghetti came to be, and our garlic lime chicken, which is one of the most versatile recipes ever under the sun, delicious, and our smothered hamburger patties. Oh my gosh, with bacon in them and the mushrooms and all of that. Yum, yum, yum. So all of that works, or you can do your own recipes. I am just fine with however you want to do it. It's up to you. On the hot milk sprint, maybe we use homemade mayo so to make chicken salad. Sure, that's fantastic, because I know you're going to be using good olive oil and what have you. Yes, indeed, you can do that. And what are the hot melt fat bombs used for? They're not used for the sprint. That is the hot melt way. That is the other program that I have, and a lot of people have bought that and used it. There's some amazing recipes in there, and there's lots of creativity and fun in there, but it's not for the sprint. The sprint is a whole lot more stringent, and we have a certain plan for the sprint only. Never, ever, ever are we going to have hot melt bombs in there. And let me just tell you about the hot melt bombs, by the way, the fat bombs. I made them. I did a recipe on them. I did a whole video on them and how to make them. And yes, they taste delicious. But can I just tell you, for food addicted women, not a good idea. Because I made them, and not only did I not eat one, I ate 4 at a time. Because if 1 was good, so was 2. And if 3 and 4 was delicious, yes, it tastes like a Mans bar. But that's not a good thing when you are a food addicted woman. That is not a good thing if that is a struggle that you have with. You're just taking out, instead of having a Mounds bar, you're going to the place of having something that tastes just like a Mounds bar, and it's gonna trigger the same activity. You know? Listen, I'm the queen of that. So I'm calling it as I see it, but for some people, this is just a saving grace. So keep that all in mind. Also, we had another question of somebody asking if coconut oil broke your fast. Yes, it does. If anything has a calorie in it, it technically breaks your fast, which means it stops the autophagy, which is one of the big things that everybody wants, because autophagy is what Pac-Man and eats your skin. The hanging skin. It makes your skin very, it pop back in. It makes your skin lovely, so that's, see, Betsy, that's what I was afraid of the fat bombs. How would I stop? Yeah, how would you stop? Don't eat them. Don't eat them. I promise you, yes, they're delicious. And yes, for a lot of people, they're good things. And people like to know, can I supplant this with that? Sure you can. But if you have a food addiction, all that's going to do is this, you're just going to be, instead of taking the hydrogenated oils and all the sugar and the corn syrup and all the other crap that's in there, you're going to get a cleaner product. But guess what? Same addictive activity. I don't know about you, but I just can't do it. So remember, hot melt mix. Yes, that will break your fast. Avocado oil, avocado, any of it. Yes, and fat breaks your fast. A lot of times you'll hear people say, oh, it just doesn't break your fast. Yes, it does. Take it from me. If it has a calorie in it, it breaks your fast. Okay? That's it. That's all the questions we have for today. So here are your marching orders. If you have not yet decided to join the sprint, then go to savyditter.com/burn, watch my webinar. I want you to invest that time. I want you to invest in yourself and watch the webinar, period. And this is something else that you need to look at. There are supplements in there that are optional, right? I'm not saying you have to have the supplements to be able to do this successfully. I'm saying they'll help you. And if you decide that you want to order them today so that we can get them out today. We will still send them out priority. They may not get to you on Monday. It might be Tuesday. But you've got 7 days to do this sprint. Wouldn't it be nice with a little help? So check it out. savyditter.com/burn and get your butt into the Facebook group. Say hello. Tell everybody who you are and what you hope to accomplish. Yeah? Be forward thinking. Start looking at what it is that you want for yourself. This is a time where we get to dedicate this time to ourselves, clean some things up, and be amazing women. We get to lift each other up. You've heard the saying, rising tide lifts all boats? I have seen that in action in our Facebook group. I can't wait to meet you in there. It's going to be fun. This weekend you can get ready. Go get that bone broth ready. Go get your groceries purchased. Just start, because you're going to be absolutely amazed at who you are at the end of this 7 days. You ready to do this? I am. Pinkies up. Peace out. See you tomorrow.